Hello, peeps and peepers, also known as The Voyeurs, starring Brenda's daughter, Sydney Sweeney. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for the 8th of October, 2025. It's 54 degrees right now here in the Hudson Valley of New York, but temperatures are going to be dropping. They're going to be dropping maybe at night into the lower 30s. Here we go. Here we go. During the day, it'll still be fairly warm. But I saw that and I thought, well, I better go to the Big W and order a few things, buy a few things. I didn't order them and plan to pick them up later. I just bought them, including that new backdrop there, which is going to serve also as a blanket. Oh, wow. We're starting off good with 22 people that I know of and 3 likes. We'll say hello to Brenda Sweeney, Neo, Brenda Noyce, Karen Phillips. She's faithful. You're very faithful, Karen. Thank you. Hi, Jack and all. And Pam Donnelly is back with us. Sometimes we have the other Pam, and I say, where is Pam Donnelly? But here she is tonight. I'm so glad you're here. Patrick Wilburn. Hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to you. 54 in Detroit, says Brenda Noyce. Not feeling well tonight. Hope you soon are on the road to recovery, Brenda. Miles Wright. Hello, Jack and everyone. Nice to have you with us as well. Sometimes I miss your post and don't realize you're on. Yeah, that can happen. Heather is here. And pretty much our regular people. Here's Teresa. Going to be on the road soon, if not already. And Jackie Organ from Australia is here. Hi, Jack and everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good that you're here. And we do have some great emails to check out today. Hey, here's Mikhail. It's been a while. Mikhail G, also known as Michael G. Yes. Hey, Jack, what's been going on with you, Mikhail? Mr. Slim Jiggy, it's also been a while for you. Hi, Jack. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Heather is singing that Britney classic, Oops, I Did It Again. I don't know the actual words to that song, but I know I've made up my own words to that song. You will not be hearing me sing them tonight. Woohoo! Leaving tomorrow at noon for Cullman, Alabama. Want you to be my eyes, my ears, my nose, sniff like a bloodhound, and walk like an Egyptian, if you don't mind. If that's not too much to lay on you there. Lay a little loving on me. Lay a little loving on me. Honey, I love you. I can't think of the rest of the words, but lay a little loving on me. Ah, Elaine Peterson. Hello, Jack and family. How are you? CC Ryder is here. Hey, where you all watching from, CC? Well, 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 you may have told me before. I think you've been here before, but I'm never sure, let's face it, at this stage of my life. I'm not as sharp as I was when I was a young buck, you know? Not as sharp as I was when I was a young buck. We're looking Halloweeny tonight, I think. We're looking fall, that's for sure. And we're very happy to be here with you tonight. I'm going to go to those emails pretty quick because there's stuff to look at. Now, Jack, you know I sent you an email because you called me CC. Yes, now I've got it. that 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 jiggered my memory, and I didn't need Mr. Slim Jiggy to do it. It did that. Now I know who you are. Yes, I do. Now you're not going, are you? Are you going? I think you are going. So anybody that is going, please, as the other guy is saying, whatever you can get me. Um, not in a public post. No, don't do that. Do it in Facebook Messenger, or do it in uh, obviously my email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. You know it by now. I know you do, but I'll write it right here. You write it down. But most of you have already written me an email. And let me know what your impression is. Be my reporter. Be like Jack Webb, who played Sergeant Friday, along with Detective Gannon, who would go on to MASH. Yeah. Hey, here's Robin Roman. Hi, Jack and family. Welcome. Neo is desperate for me to acknowledge his emails. I think the first one is he sent me the exact stuff he's already sent me. So what he's saying, I expect you to use them. I'm not asking you to use them. I'm saying you must use them. Don't think I want to use the Charlie Kirk one. Only, would do something like a tribute, like right here. There's Charlie Kirk. Your Elvis thing is cute. I'd have to get Andy to roll it up though. So don't send me the same thing 3 times, Neo. But I thought the Elvis talking about AI was cute. If I get Andy up here, I'd probably roll it in at some point. So there you go. Jeanette Berglund, who has announced who Bob Joyce really is? Who has announced who Bob Joyce really is? Lots of people say it. I've seen different people say it. It's their credibility that we have to think about. It's their credibility. Oh, they can say anything, They can say anything. And I was watching a piece on it was Dave Blaze and Gene Ho talking about, because they're looking for podcasters now. There's a real need to bring that magazine into the video realm. There just is, because they're doing great work over there. From what I've seen, and I haven't seen a lot, but what I have seen, they're doing great work. But you're only going to reach so many people in a magazine. I don't mind saying the truth. You got to put it in video form. You've got to find a way to put it in video form with great presenters. That's why they're looking for podcasters. People physically picking up a magazine in 2025 is not what it used to be. We all know that, so we can be honest about it, right? So if you're doing great stuff, you definitely want to have a video version of it too. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, no matter what so and so says. It's just what people do. That's why Kindle is the attempt to save people from missing out on all the great books that are written, because people don't sit down and read a book very much anymore. There are exceptions, but they tend to be older people. Good news. There's a lot of older people out there, and they tend to be, certainly when we're talking about people like Pastor Bob Joyce and what have you, the XYZ young people don't care about Elvis Presley. Oh, Elvis is alive? All right, whatever. So what? It's us guys that care. Oh, how dare you say that? My nephew loves Elvis. I get it. But in terms of your average XYZer, especially if they weren't brought up on Elvis in the household and what have you. If it wasn't a priority with their parents, they're not thinking about Elvis Presley. They're thinking about what's that guy? Bad Bunny, who's going to be on the NFL show. Give me a break. How in the heck do you ever put Jay Z Entertainment in charge of the NFL show when you know there is a bunch of country trumping fans that love the NFL, and you've now ticked them all off? You've ticked them all off. They don't want Bad Bunny. They don't want Bad Bunny. So NFL, it was a stupid thing to put Jay-Z in charge of that. I mean, how in the heck can you have so much money and be so bloody stupid? So bloody stupid. Since my mom was from Liverpool, I heard the word bloody all the time. Close the bloody door. It wasn't as if there was blood on the door. There's blood on the tracks, says Bob Dylan. Hi, Rita. Lovely Rita May. There's a new Facebook account, says Heather. And they were more for your entertainment. Well, I thought they were cute. So if they're all more for my entertainment, then I should interact with you in an email, right? Right. You always say that, by the way. Love snubs, but I do appreciate your work, and you've done some beautiful stuff for us, Neo, and I really do love it. You've given us a couple of really good thumbnails that I asked you for, and you did it. So there you go. I really appreciate that. Love snubs. Love grows where my rosemary goes. All right. I'm not sure what that means. Well, you can't even call it an announcement if somebody doesn't back it up with hardcore information. Oh, I have a cousin who said that, they were at the church. That kind of information isn't information. It's just hearsay. It would not be allowed in a court of law. No, you got to say more than that. Hold it up higher so we can see it. What's that? The Charlie Kirk? Is that what you're saying? This was just in one of our publications. Yeah. What a fine man he was. One second he's here on planet Earth, the next minute he's seeing the face of Jesus. Well done, good and faithful servant. All right. So let's go to those emails. That's right. You've got to educate. That's right, Rita. You've got to educate the young people because, what they're into is something very different. And I know there are wonderful exceptions. I get it. So let's see what's going on. Let's start off with our menu for Coleman, Alabama. That Teresa Pinnell will be enjoying, and others. CC, I think. This is Bernadette from the Four Tops. Bernadette, do 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 do. Yes, burn your debts. Greetings, Jack, says Bernadette. I just received the menu for the Bob Joyce concert at Stonebridge Farms on Friday night. The menu will consist of Stonebridge chicken. I see. Is that a special kind of chicken? Mashed taters. You can't go wrong with that now. Make them good. green beans, another vegetable, perhaps squash casserole. Please, God, no. And then she said it's been changed to orca, a whale, and a choice of dessert. The chicken is baked with a clear glaze herb sauce. Sounds like something Karen would do. See, that's tricky. You got to make it. You got to make your glaze in such a way that it's wet, or it will make the chicken skin so hard you just might as well take the whole skin off. Just take it off because you can't eat it like that. The dessert choices will include peach cobbler, strawberry cobbler, and assorted pies. I'll have all of them, please. I am sharing just in case any other attendees, audience members, would like to know. We did want to know, Bernadette, by the Four Tops, and I'm so glad that you let us know. And let's see here. I interacted with her. I said, so Bernadette's going to be there. I need your ears, eyes. I need your video and pictures as much as you can get away with. I know there'll be times you can't do it. You'll be told not to. I don't expect you to disobey that. I agree with you about that squash casserole. I told Brenda that that was not exactly my favorite food, any kind. She said, not my favorite way to eat squash. I don't have a favorite way to eat squash. The green beans were remarkable, really. I enjoyed them this past Saturday. So you live in the area and you go there and you were there for another event? And where was my email here? Yeah, I said, well, thank you, Bernadette from the Four Tops. The menu sounds good. I want all the desserts. You may have my squash. Are you going? I will tell the audience. Also being served will be a hunk of burning love and poke salad tossed by Annie. Wonderful, Bernadette. So I think we've got at least 3 people in the audience that I know of that are going to be in Coleman, Alabama. Don't you talk to no other people now. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Or you can find me at Facebook Messenger, Jack Willard at Facebook Messenger. You can. And so that sounds wonderful, wonderful, delicious. And everybody, you know, whether you have a $65 ticket or you're at a table of 8 that costs $2,000, you get that dinner. You get that dinner. I got to choose between peach cobbler and cherry cobbler, whatever the other one is, or some delicious. Don't tell me I have to choose between peach cobbler and chocolate cream pie. I can't make a choice like that. I can't do it. Um, let's see. Let's see. What else is here? Thank you, Elaine Peterson, for hitting the Cash App for $10. Won't mention anything more about that now, but I will. And let's see. Yes, Bob Joyce is now on TikTok. I think this was put together by Katie Wilson. Am I right about that? Bob Joyce Music. Now we got to get those likes up and those followers up. Come on, everybody, do that. Of course, this is already old, this posting, so it's higher now. Sharing songs of worship and messages of hope from Pastor Bob Joyce official music account. Official music account. Hold on a second. I bought cough drops only to leave them downstairs in the living room on the other side. So what good is that going to do me? What good is that? Does sound good, doesn't it, Vinny? Now, are you a cook, Vinny? Are you a chef? Vinny from 2 places, one that I'm very interested in, and one that I am really not too interested in, except that Nancy Barrett lives there. Could you check the next time you're at your other place? Could you check on Nancy Barrett? She's in a senior community, and to make sure she's okay. Maybe, you know, she needs something or something like that. She was supposed to be at both Dark Shadows events in 2020. Well, the one in 2024, which was in Burbank, California. She didn't show up for that, and she was supposed to be at Lyndhurst this past July. Um, a lot of people bought tickets because Nancy Barrett and David Hennessy were coming, and neither one of them showed up. Now, Nancy, I heard from a very trusted source, a cast member's son, that she wasn't feeling well. So, if you can, check on Nancy Barrett. There's several of them, though, and that you want the one that's the famous one from Dark Shadows. I would love to see her. Karen and I were so excited to meet Nancy. She was there at Lyndhurst Mansion in 2019. Couple behind his shoulder, the picture they had with her, and we'd never gotten to meet her because we really didn't become Dark Shadows fanatics till the pandemic in 2020. So we missed so much fun. Um, Glenn Campbell, of course, loved Phoenix, Arizona. He did. Um, okay, Jack, I'm sleepy. Need some meds. See you Saturday night. Take care, everyone. Um, so they took the kidney stone out, did they? The other kidney stone? Did they? Bob Joyce on TikTok. That seems to be verified. I'll have the thumbnail. I'll have it in the thumbnail, but time to sign up for TikTok. What can I tell you? Time to do it. Um, I just did. I may post my first video. I may, but my home will always be Utah. Utah. Where the heck did that come from? Utah. My home will always be YouTube, and that's where my allegiance will remain. They have done so much for me to get me a worldwide audience. So anything else would be secondary. I can just imagine you chilling at a party listening to a little Pink Floyd. Why would you think I'd be that guy? I'm a pop guy. With that said, Roger Waters may be a mean SOB. Who Tucker Carlson? Was it Tucker Carlson? No, it was Piers Morgan who nailed him as a racist and said your other band members feel that way too. Boy, Piers, while respecting his awesome, incredible talent, which is certainly what he has, he brought up some unpleasant truths about Roger Waters. It was watch the Roger Waters interview with Piers Morgan. It's tense. It's tense. But sure, The Wall and, of course, the singles, especially Another Brick in the Wall. But I'm not a Pink Floyd head because I was never really an album-oriented rock head, with notable exceptions like Lou Reed and the Colored Girls Go do 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 do. Which verse should I sing of that? I don't think I'll do the Little Joe Never Once Gave It Away verse. No, we won't do it, Neil. So does Robert Plant. Will you please be careful how you write? Because I got to read it. See, the sentence does not make any sense, Neil. You're going to have to stay after school now and write 50 times. I will write a coherent sentence. Jack, wow, no Floyd? As I say, only the singles, and I did love those. No, never the album cuts. There's only a few artists that I was never a metalhead, certainly, but I cannot say this enough, without saying I understand the genius behind Pink Floyd, behind The Wall, and behind Money and those songs. But I was the guy that was listening to the Monkees and the Beatles and the Stones. Sammy, look at what you're doing. 99 cents on the thanks button, followed by 279. So, Vinny, what you're going to have to do is tell me some Pink Floyd songs that you want me to check out here on the Spotify. All right. By the way, Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones just released this huge anthology thing. Now, I'm not sure if it's just him or what. I haven't been to Spotify yet to check that out. But he's very proud of this, and check out Ron Wood. Okay. What a lovely chap he is. And then 279 on the thanks button. Sam Semi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cece, I found YMCA in a stack of 45s the other day that I forgot I had. But Trump, here he is. He's 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 on the ship there with the Navy celebrating their anniversary, right? Is that what it was all about? I saw some of the speech. And so they start playing YMCA by the Village People. But what about in the Navy? Do, 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 do. I have lyrics for that I can't sing too. In the Navy. I love that song in the Navy by the Village People. The one of the gay guys next door, um, he was in the Navy, and he said, wait a minute, I'm confusing him with what a celebrity said that was in the Navy. One of the celebrities joined the Navy and did it because of the uniforms. He wanted those bell-bottom dress trousers. But Dennis, thank you for your service in the Navy. Yeah. Please don't tell me you're not a Swiftie. Well, you're a Swiftie? I don't know. I listened to a bunch of songs once on Spotify, Vinny, and I wanted not to like them, but I thought, well, these are pretty good. Nothing. I didn't find anything like I haven't got time for the pain, or It's Too Late by Carole King, or you know. Magic Man by Heart. I didn't find anything great like that, but I I thought it was okay. Now, um, what I do here, and I haven't verified this, is because people were saying positive things about the lyrics. She can be very anti-God in her lyrics. She can be, obviously not patriotic and what have you. So I don't know any of this. I don't know any of this. I'll just have to check it out. I'm just going on hearsay, not admissible in court, not admissible in court. So now you're giving me homework assignments. Jack bouncing to shake it, giving me homework assignments. Jack bouncing to shake it up. Shake it up, do 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 do. Shake it up. I know that "Shake It Up" song. Shake, 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 shake your booty, shake your booty. That is Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez's greatest asset. It's her greatest asset. I'm not saying anything bad, am I, Buzzdean? What's up, Jack? Hi from Southern California. Yeah. Or is that San Francisco, California? It's San Francisco, California. Can you go over and make sure Michael Savage is all right? He's got a beautiful home right on the water. You can't miss it. But Michael Savage is right there in San Francisco. He does most of his broadcasting from his beautiful home, cooking shows, his Newsmax show, everything I think comes from there. So check him out, Buzz Dean, and let me know how he's doing. Vinny's going to check on Nancy Barrett for me next time he gets back to that other home. I'm very excited about that. Get me an interview with Nancy Barrett. Get her to say, hi, I'm Nancy Barrett, and I listen to, I keep thinking I'm on the radio still, Vinny. I watch Jack Willard on Worldwide Ramblings. Get that for me, and I will be forever in your debt. I already am forever in your debt. The humor here is priceless. You can't put a price on it. Rita, lovely Rita Maid is saying hello to Todd, and that's the second time I'm seeing, and there he is himself. Good to see you all. Todd Bradshaw. Welcome, Todd. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, Jack. Hello, all, says Todd. Glad to see you back. I'm glad you are. What's going on in Tennessee? Have you made it to Bucky's yet? Because I want you to have that experience. I want you to have that. Adam Davidson, tell me, please God, nothing bad has happened to you, and you're totally on the mend. Mr. Jack, hello. I'm out of town seeing the fiance or the finances. I'm not sure which it is. And grandkids? You're too young of a man to have grandkids unless the fiance has grandkids. That would make her a cougar, wouldn't it? Oh dear. I'm just saying the first thing that pops in my head. That's what happens at this age. Good to have you here, Todd. I think Vinny is happy about it too. I don't know if Vinny is completely off work tonight. Jack, the thing I worry about people only watching Pastor Bob on TikTok because of the crowd that's only there for Elvis, not the anointing of Pastor Bob. I don't think so. Older people are set in their ways. So it would just mean a younger crowd. But let's analyze that, Jody Smith. Why did Katie Wilson put him on TikTok? Obviously, with his consent, I'm sure. It's just another interesting piece of the puzzle, isn't it? Now, I've never done a puzzle, with all those pieces in my life. I would have told myself back then, oh, it's too complicated. Why do I want to do that? No, give me my train set, give me my robot as I had as a kid. I had at least one robot. But I'm not interested in putting a puzzle together, no more than I'm interested in today's video games. Uh, so I hope you have a wonderful time, Adam. Please be extra careful. How are you healing, Adam? How's your leg healing after several encounters with your SUV door? I worked it wrong. Oh, you're talking to Todd? Oh, good. You're not a Swiftie. Okay. I don't have any problem if you're a Swiftie. It's just that I'm curious to check out her new album and see if people are right about her lyrics. This woman, I mean, what is she soon going to have? 2 billion? She's already got 1 billion. I guess, she's going to become one of the richest women in the world soon. Richest women in the world. Huh. So I don't think we have to worry about that. I think it's just more, but think about this. Isn't this another step, unexpected step? I mean, Pastor Bob for the longest time said, I'm not on the TikTok. I'm not on, I don't know if he ever said X. I'm not on, he keeps saying Telegram. I don't know anybody on Telegram. I've never been on Telegram myself. Do people here use Telegram? Tell me all about it. Why do you use Telegram? What's on Telegram? I don't know. I haven't looked it out. I mean, Telegram goes back to my youth. Send a telegram. Send a Western Union, man. That's not I don't even remember how the tune goes to Mr. Western Union Man, but I know I played that song on the radio. On the radio, radio, radio. Everything reminds me of another song. It's just the way it is, Neon. Listen to Shake It Off in the facilities. Shake It Off. Okay. Buzz Dean. What's up, Jack? Yeah, I guess I thought it was another entry from you. So you're from San Francisco. They say they have wonderful restaurants there. Buzz Dean. Michael Savage always says that. He's been a little raunchy lately. I mean, he's just, he's got more followers now and stuff. And he's been so angry at Candace Owens over some of her comments regarding Israel. And he had to apologize to Tucker Carlson because he thought Tucker lined up with Candace completely. And he said a few things, and guess who called him up? He had his phone number. He said, Michael, when have I ever said what you said I said about Israel? When have I ever said that? And Michael did I should have checked. I should have called him. I just want to apologize and renew the relationship that we once had. Yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of thing. But Tucker, he is controversial about his stand on Israel. He tries to separate Christianity from a loyalty to Israel, and I don't think you can make that. But I'd have to do a better study first, and I'm not the one to really do it. We need somebody, like David Jeremiah or one of the great Bible teachers to explain that you can't divorce the two. That doesn't mean that you have to agree with the way things Prime Minister Netanyahu has handled everything, every decision he's made. I understand a lot of innocent Gaza children have died, and it's terrible. So was what happened on October 7th, 2023, when the most savage killings and rapes and everything else occurred. So you have to factor that in. Talk a little bit about the peace process. Remind me if I forget. Uh, Maybe the hostages are going to be released tomorrow. What's left of them, and they're going to release the bodies of the dead ones as well. And they're going to get like 1,700 hardcore terrorists. The math is never in our favor, but um, as our Secretary of State said, this is the way Rubio said, this is the way it always is, unfortunately. But sometimes you just need to do it. Those people want their family home. So I don't think we have to worry about that, Jody. But the real story here is does this mean now? I know what you predicted for 2026, that it's going to be a special year in the Bob Joyce world, and that could be just another step that they're priming the pump. They're priming the pump. You know, you make me laugh, Jack. Why is that? Miles Wright says, "Happy birthday, Rita." I missed that. It's not bad. I just turned 71 a few months ago. We're all around that age, right? I'll be 70 in March. I mean, not all of us. Nancy DeMarco is 35. I'm on Telegram. I follow politics there. It's like ex Twitter. Okay. I've never looked, Nancy. Fancy Nancy from Oklahoma. Yeah. So there's just so many. A lot of intel on Telegram and Rumble. Yeah, who owns Rumble now? Does Bongino technically still own it? But who is the big cheese at Rumble now that Dan Bongino is not allowed to be because he's, deputy director of the FBI? Here's Overbuilt Automotive. He built it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost him a dime. You'll know it's him when Overbuilt Automotive rolls into your town. Uh, Talmud equates two bad, normal, real Jewish things. Two bad, normal, real Jewish things are fine. I don't know what you're saying to me, Overbuilt Automotive. Could you say it another way? Here's Rocky Mountain High. Rocky Mountain Red Wing. I heard from you in the email. Just tuned in right now. Hello, Jack and everyone. You're just going to say you're Andrea. There's something about that name. There's certain names like Andrea, like Shannon, like Elaine. Well, you know why Elaine is so dear to me is I was madly in love with Julia Louis Dreyfus. Uh, from Seinfeld. I just was. I know politically, she's way out there. But during that time, I didn't watch. But after that, I'm a rerun person. A lot of shows are like that. When The Odd Couple was on the air, the ratings were not so good. Good enough, but not so good. But in reruns, they became legendary. There's a lot of shows like that. So Andrea is a special name to me. And I mean, you just don't expect Gertrude to be pretty, but I'm sure there were plenty of pretty Gertrudes because that was the name of the time, you know. Elvira, you expect her to be a country woman, but probably pretty hot. Probably pretty hot. Where did I get into this? You got me wondering now, Overbill Automotive. Um, how do you say your name there at the end? Laea, Leah? Leah? I just turned 76 and waiting for the med beds. Yes. Have we ever proven the med beds to be true? You know, I think we can pretty much say that the UFOs are out there. I just have to look out my window. I mean, and drones? Oh my goodness. I'll go out tonight. I won't have to be out there too long. I'll see a drone. I'll see a drone with big lights. This is not Junior who lives in his parents' basement flying it. No, it's a big thing with big lights, and they don't want this to get away, and it just keeps going and going. You know, then you hear about people that caught some really good footage and then disappeared. Anybody follow the rabbit hole on Facebook and probably other places too? Do you follow the rabbit hole? They show you some scary stuff. I'm all over the map tonight. Well, we've told you about the dinner in Coleman, Alabama, and um, I want the peach cobbler, especially if it's homemade. Oh, you know, Marie Callender, the best thing they ever made, in my humble opinion, was the peach cobbler, and they took it away. Your TV dinners, yeah, okay. You're all right. Pot pies. People buy a Marie Callender's pot pie, or my God, if you want something that's really in the dog food realm, a banquet pot pie. And they put it in the freezer, and a year later, it's still there. It's still there. Tell me it's not true, Jackie Organ, if you even have banquet or Marie Callender where you are. Jack, there is still no mention of Pastor Bob having a TikTok account on the church webpage. Now, this came off the Katie Wilson site. I got several reliable sources. Is this correct? Please tell me I'm not wrong about this, because they made the same comment. Why isn't it on the church website? Because they're slow in changing it, I would say. Just last week when I was reading it, I thought, well, why isn't something, I forget what I was expecting to see there, and I didn't see it. So let's get with it, huh? Huh? Um, Helen McDonald from Aussie land as well. But yeah, that's true. That's true, Jackie Organ. Jack, I think Pastor Bob is slowly getting closer, inch by inch, step by step. The moment he looks into the camera and says, any Three Stooges fans out there? The moment he steps into the camera or steps close to the camera and looks right in there and says, Niagara Falls, there's your clue. I should not have had one of those special gummies before air. I knew it was a mistake when I did it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Can't do it tonight. I'm going to do it. Nothing wrong. It's totally legal here in New York. In fact, I'll probably visit the shop down there. And I've only had a few of these. Don't think I've become a pothead. I haven't. I never would. But sometimes, you know, if you're, some people have used it to get off of Xanax, I'm told, you know. I've been on Xanax too long, like 25 years, Todd Bradshaw, the Tennessee Titan. You're right, Jack. I saw it. Okay, good. Don't make me think I've made another boo-boo. God knows I've made enough boo-boos in my life. Too many boo-boos. It's slowly getting closer and closer to the old saying, the truth will set you free, if you know what I mean. You love to say that at the end, don't you? I think of the Neil Diamond song every time you do it. Jackie Organ, howdy, sorry I was. ATAFK. I love a good pot pie, Marie Callender's, or banquet. Now, Andrea, what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Now, I bet, I don't know if you cook, but I bet you could beat Banquet if you baked your own pot pie. You go out and get that Pillsbury crust, get you this is what you do. You get yourself some Purdue grilled chicken. It's already cooked for you. You're going to cut it up more than the pieces there. This is what I put in my salad sometimes. You get yourself a good brown gravy, and you take your own carrots. Maybe you got to saute them a little bit before you put them in. Yeah, sounds like you do. And some peas. Now, when you get the peas, don't get the dark green. They suck. Get the olive green that Del Monte would have in a can. They're much better. That's what they make the pea soup with, don't they? Anyway, make it yourself, and you will find it's far superior than. Now, Marie Callender's, yeah, it looks good. I think maybe I had one once. I'm not saying a Marie Callender isn't a good product. I'm just saying I'm very disappointed that they took away my peach cobbler. Yeah, because it's hard to find that, you know? Nobody makes that. Carolyn Mullins, hi. Jack, I watched Matt last night on YouTube. He said it's Bob Joyce TikTok, but Pastor Bob is not the one who will be answering it. That sounds exactly right. It's all Katie. It will be someone else. Katie? Yeah, he's not going to start. Oh, he's not going to start interacting on there. He's too busy of a man. He doesn't do that. You're not having a conversation with Bob Joyce, somebody else from the church, if they answer a prayer request. Only if he really feels led of the Lord, he will. And he has to consider the time factor, you know? I mean, my God, the guy works 1 day a week. Oh, dear. Robin Roman, Andrea, what about the Cheesecake Factory? Now, you've mentioned this before, Robin. Do you have stock in I think it was you. Do you have stock at the Cheesecake Factory? Because it wasn't that long ago. They were hanging by a thread. They were hanging by a thread, but they seem to have found new life. New life. There's several businesses that's occurred to. One of the beloved places where we have the Poco weekend, Villa Roma in Callicoon, New York, is in trouble. So pray about Villa Roma. It's a very special place. And they do have an owner that should be able to pull it out of the muck and the mire so they don't end up at the funeral pyre. Try to set the night on fire, Vincent. I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Now tell me that's not a good song. All right, who's the first person to tell me who who Don McLean wrote Vincent for? You know it. You know it. Who's the first person that knows that answer? Here, Jackie's here. I feel I owe you an email. Rocky Mountain Red Wing Carol Mullins. Right, right. Everybody's got an alias here. Yeah. See if Jack knows a little Joe Walsh. I know the song, but I'm do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ah, well, certainly one of his biggest hits is Rocky. That's for sure. Um, did he really make it? Did he write "Help Me Make It Through the Night"? Did he really do that? I didn't know that. See, I'm learning stuff here, Vincent. Yeah. Boy, right at the end, I had to get to the end. I got to be so careful here. Just a little bit. My Maserati does 185. I lost my license, now I don't drive. I have a limo right in the back. I lock my doors in case I'm attacked. Do you want to see Joe Walsh in concert? Get yourself some Eagles tickets. He's out there with them. I think he and Don are out there, aren't they? That's right, Vincent. Vincent Van Gogh for Mr. Don McLean. I understand there's a new version of American Pie. That's the rumor. I want to hear it. Can't play it for you, though. Don will copyright me. Isn't that a good song? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. But Rocky Mountain Way. So I do know Joe Walsh, some of his songs, but he apparently wrote Help Me Make It Through the Night for what's her name there? What is her name, the country artist? Ah, yeah. Oh, I love that song. Talking about gold records on the wall. I have a mansion, da da da. I've never been there. They tell me it's nice. Yeah, that's right, Heather. It was Vincent Van Gogh. I made myself some caramel sauce and have been eating it for days, just the sauce. Why did I do this to myself when I said I was going to get rid of sugar again? Because just like Charlie Sheen was addicted to the crack, you are addicted to the sugar, and so am I. So we just have to try to do a lot less of it, a lot less of it. Um, so you haven't left yet, Teresa, for Coleman, Alabama? Crazy was written by Willie Nelson, but made popular by Patsy Cline. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And a million other people did that song. But it was the Patsy Cline version. And Doc Hollywood, one of my favorite movies. Such a great movie. In fact, I just watched a movie with the one who played the mayor, and I forget what. He was Major something on MASH. David Ogden Stiers, God rest his soul. He was just a hoot as the mayor, though. That was my favorite David Ogden Stiers movie. But I saw this movie called Bad Seed. Bad Seed with a young Blair Brown. I mean, she was a little girl. And David Ogden Stiers played a serial killer novelist in there. And Richard Kiley, who right from this area, died a mile from here at Horton Memorial Hospital of a bone marrow disease. Richard Kiley, the Man of La Mancha on Broadway, did a great TV show in the 80s called A Year in the Life. Wonderful. He was in a Woody Allen film. Was it Mr. Goodbar? I'm not sure. But he did a lot of stuff. And I got to work with Richard Kiley, sort of, in two things that he was in here when he came, because he loved this area and he always wanted to help out. Todd Bradshaw says Doc Hollywood is one of my favorites too, isn't it? Um, what's the funny line from there from the mayor? You know where I'm going to go. You can say it if you want. Remember when he introduces them to the three old ladies? Three old ladies that'll look after him while he's in town. What does he say, Todd Bradshaw? You want to say it or somebody say it? Chris Christopherson sang it. Well, he did, but that wasn't the biggest hit. But yeah, he had a hit with it. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's JC, isn't it? I wish I could play these songs. You don't know how much I wish I could play these songs. But yeah, Chris Christopherson. Now it says he wrote it. I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused. Um, Sammy Smith. Yeah, Sammy Smith. I had totally forgotten that name. It was a number one signal or single for Sammy Smith, who had a beautiful voice, helped me make it through the night. Because in terms of hits that he didn't give to other people, which Chris Christopherson was known for doing that, I think his biggest hit remains "Why Me, Lord." Why me, Lord? I got to take a break. Chi Chi, how are you, Chi Chi? What's going on in your realm? Speaking of realm, is Jupiter's realm here? Um, Michael Fox had a lot of good Michael J. Fox. He couldn't be Michael Fox because there already was an actor, and I kind of remember the guy's face. He did something in the 70s, some kind of a action show. I think there was a car in it, Michael Fox. So he had to be Michael J. Fox. Uh, Even the secret of my success did not see it. Did not see it. But remember when the wonderful character of the mayor in Doc Hollywood introduces Michael to these three older ladies that are going to, make sure he's fed and take care of him there while he's in town. Southern hospitality and all, Southern hospitality. He says, now, only one of them's horny. I ain't gonna tell you which one. The great David Ogden Stiers. Jody Smith, $1.99 on the thanks button. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you very, very much. And you can be a friend without doing that, by the way. Never give if it's not in your budget. Yes, the beautiful moon, right? It's been out there for a few nights. And next week is it next month? Next month is the beaver moon. Anybody know the story behind the beaver moon? Somebody was trying to explain it to me. In fact, it was Diane over at ShopRite, our favorite cashier. Register 6. Always register 6. She used to load shelves for decades. For decades. And she's got all the illnesses, the bad back and stuff that went with that. But now she's on register 6 until her retirement. Supergirl, Helen Slater, is in The Secret of My Success. Okay. Well, you would know all about Supergirl. What kind of powers did she have, Neil? Let's see here. Having a problem with my card. I see, said the blind man. Jane Justice saw Chris twice. He has a lot of music. You have a lot of his music, okay? And of course, don't take away from him. He was a huge movie star. A Star is Born, for example. He was a huge movie star. Sex symbol he was. Um, but yeah, right after Back to the Future 1 and 2 would come Doc Hollywood, I think, on my Michael J. Fox favorites. Love Doc Hollywood, says Vinnie Maru. Vinnie Maru for you. Yes. Barry Boswick, there's a name I haven't heard. He made a good mayor. In what movie? In your Supergirl movie there? You like the cut of her jib? Is that what you're saying to me? What does that mean anyway? I like the cut of her jib. I'm looking back in case I've missed somebody. But Crazy was what Michael J. Fox and the wonderful actress who played his girlfriend, who drove the ambulance. Everyone thought she was going to be a bigger star than she turned out to be, but she was wonderful in that movie. She was wonderful in that movie. Um, yeah. So let's see here. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Sammy Smith, the name is coming back to me now, but I had totally forgotten it. Number one record with that song that Chris Christopherson wrote, Help Me Make It Through the Night. I was just listening to Neon Moon Jody. That sounds like something Neo would write. Elaine, are you channeling Neo? Funny you should bring this up. I was just listening to Neon Moon Jody. Have you Moon Jody Neon? Neo Neon? Oh dear. Good night, everyone. Not feeling good tonight? No, Brenda? I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll keep you in prayer, Brenda Sweeney. I think Dolly Parton has not been feeling well, but she did a special video because, you know, she had to push back her Vegas residency, and her sister came on and said that she wasn't feeling well. So pray for Dolly, and then everyone thinks she's dying. So Dolly went to a studio and did a thing saying, "I'm far from dead. Do I look like a person who's dying?" And she didn't. She didn't. This is a one-hit wonder song, the one and only by Chesney Hawkes. Intro song for to Doc Hollywood? Really? I don't remember it now. Elaine, what can I say? What can I say? They are good? You don't mean the banquet pot pies again. You don't mean that. Oh, boy. What happened is Swift's Premium sold out to Banquet, you know, because they were the main competition at the time. But when it comes to those kind of breakfast sausages, I'm a one brand kind of guy. Well, Jimmy Dean's all right. Jimmy Dean's all right. I mean, he still does his own commercials and he's dead. I mean, he has a little piece in some of the commercials. That's dedication, if you ask me. But come on now, Jones pork sausages. More pork sausages, Mom. Please? Jones pork sausages are the bomb if you're going to have that. Get the maple. Get the maple. I tell you. But nobody listened to me. So what else in the email? Goodness, we've had so much. We've had Neo with his pictures. And we have TW. She's going to be sending me some pictures. I said, thank you, T. The Elvis eyes are key for me. Bob, in 2011, is Elvis to me for sure. That's my personal opinion. Robert Wayne Joyce in the early 80s did not transform into looking just like Elvis. The Vernon Love Children, who was born after Gladys's death, is a slight possibility to me. In other words, he would be one of them. Bodyguards with guns is another thing to take a look at a small town Alabama church. So many say they saw brown eyes, but you are saying you saw blue. The guy at the house in Wild New Bob Joyce video doing very well. Check out my video. Wild New Bob Joyce video does not have the Elvis eyes. I think we will know more soon. Tell me more if you have it. Thank you. Should I watch your channel all the time? In July, we drove from North Carolina to Bob Joyce's church. This is my opinion and mine only. When I was at Bob Joyce's church, I watched and studied him closely. And when you posted the video of the man that went to Bob Joyce's house for his son, that's not the same person. Everybody says that. Not everybody, but at least 75%. Let's say that. I have watched and studied him closely, so this is my opinion. I have a picture taken with Pastor Bob. I looked straight into his eyes. I looked at his hair. She feels it's a wig. Anybody else Let's take a survey on that. How many people think Pastor Bob Joyce wears a wig? Um, whether you've been there or not, but especially if you've been there and been a few feet from him or closer than that. Um, I'm thinking that the man that was in the video is the real Robert Wayne Joyce. I would say Bob Joyce. I agree. But when he comes to preach, he puts on, now you can't, he puts on the white wig and his blue contacts, and I really wanted to believe that is Elvis. So this seems to say you're saying that the man at the small house that Greg Pritchard met, that we talk about in Wild New Bob Joyce video, just transforms. So I'm a little confused of exactly what your opinion of. I want him to be Elvis, and at first I really believed it was Elvis, but when I compare these two pictures, I don't think there's a second Bob Joyce. Well. Thank you, TW. You can say who you are if you want. Back to the live stream. This is Robert Wayne Joyce in the early 80s. Matt and Sabrina had been born, I think, at this point. Are you telling me that man transformed into the current pastor of Household of Faith? Even my competition doesn't think that. I was great for that verification. I was grateful. Come on. Come on, man. Does that guy have Elvis eyes in any way, shape, or form? Does he resemble Elvis Presley in any way, shape, or form? And Elvis was well, by then, Elvis was said to have passed away by the time that picture was taken. Okay. So they were married in 1975. Walina Hattie in the state of Texas. I've seen a marriage certificate. I know it could have been faked. I know. I don't think it is, but it could have been. Here's young Walina and Robert Wayne Joyce. Look at the way his chin is shaped, for goodness sakes. Now, you can't sell that to me. I just don't believe it. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong about the whole thing. The whole shebang there, Vinnie Maru and Todd Bradshaw and Elaine Peterson and Chi Marin. Chi Marin. So let's see here. I mean, here's Pastor Bob Joyce. And then we have Sabrina's wedding. Did Robert Wayne Joyce begin to look more like Elvis as he got older? Did he do anything to help that along? I don't know. But I don't think that's the current pastor of Household of Faith. That's just my personal opinion. Hairstyle's completely different too, by the way. Completely different. Another picture of young Robert Wayne Joyce and a little bit of Sabrina. A little bit of Sabrina. Young Robert Wayne Joyce when he was in the service. Again, although I realize the other picture looks similar to the current pastor, I don't believe it's the same man. Soldier Presley with Sigrid Schultz, who we think is Walina in Germany, and some other unidentified woman. And, he doesn't look 90 years old. He doesn't look it. I hear that a lot. Look at the two side pictures here. Really? And the guy in the middle is in the Wild New Bob Joyce video. The guy who appeared to Greg Pritchard Is that the current pastor of Household of Faith, in your opinion? In your opinion? The eyes, the eyes, the eyes. These eyes have seen a lot of love. And here's another picture of the guy Greg Pritchard met. Huh? I don't believe so. I'm sorry, but I don't believe so. What do you say, Vinny? I like Jaeger, but Kuzo has a lighter licorice taste. See, when you say Jaeger, you bring me to Dark Shadows. Jaeger was a villain played by the late, great Christopher Pennock on Dark Shadows in the later years. He would drink a magic potion and he would transform from the mild-mannered Dr. Cyrus something or other Longfellow, and he would turn into John Jaeger. Ooh, black wig, black mustache. There's 4 different Bidens too. You mean as in President Biden? Oh, don't curse us with that. You know, my goodness, the more you learn about Joe Biden and what he did while president, and of course before that too. Now he had the FBI spying on 8 Republican senators, including Lindsey Graham, who is fit to be tied, and Josh Hawley, who's fit to be tied, and Ted Cruz, who's fit to be tied. Jack, I don't use anything pre-made. Well, I'll be there Sunday for dinner then. I make my own chicken pot pie from scratch, and my peach cobbler. You're just trying to make me hungry. I have been cooking since I was a very young girl, so at least for 12 years now. Haven't had any complaints. I bet. Yes, yes, yes. So we were talking about some kind of food. I like Jaeger, but Aozu has a lighter licorice taste, but it's more like a vapor, kind of like moonshine. When is my moonshine coming back on the air, by the way, moonshiners? Probably in November. I have a feeling this could be the last season. Back on Doc Hollywood, my wife bought me some of that. Is that a Q or an O? Oh, yeah, Doc Stone, played by Bernard Hughes, right? Who played Doc. Isn't that funny? Played Doc on a TV series, right? That was the name of the show, wasn't it? Bernard Hughes. He did a lot of work during his career. That Doc Stone drunk on. Is that what he gave the kid when he had a stomach ache and Doc Hollywood was about to bring the guy into surgery? Had to special order. It wasn't available locally. Had to ship it from another state other than Arizona. Arizona. Mark Lindsay, the lead singer of what? Of what? Of what? Mark Lindsay was the lead singer of what famous group? I believe that every time a flower grows, every time I see a newborn baby born, or watch the sun. My parents both had loads of hair, and I also have a lot of hair, says Rita. I get complaints on it every single day. From who? Who would complain about your hair? Boy, you're putting my mind in places I don't want it to be. Oh, dear. Well, I am a child of the 70s, you know. Whoever thought, be careful here. No, I won't say it. Toast to Dr. Stone. All I have is water, Vinny. I didn't bring up anything good. Didn't bring up anything good. Yeah, he was great, wasn't he? Doc Hollywood saved his life. And remember George Hamilton playing the plastic surgeon that Doc Hollywood thought he wanted to work for in Hollywood, California. And Doc Stone wanted to help him out after he saved his life. And the quote that he said that if you don't hire this man, it was very well written. Night, everyone. Got to get some shut eye. Big day tomorrow. Throw it in our face. Headed to Coleman, Alabama. I want to know all about it, Teresa. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. So Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada, my son Corey saw Mr. Paul McCartney in concert for the very first time in his life. Did a 3-hour show. He was in a stadium and way up high. It was hard to see. But Mr. McCartney gave it all he had, which is not what he used to have, to be honest. His voice is not strong. So they kind of sometimes on the rocking songs that he can't really do well, like Band on the Run or some of the Beatles tunes. They bury his voice in the mix. They bury his voice in the mix. So I said to my son Corey today on the phone, we were chatting for about 45 minutes as he was doing his deliveries. I said, "Are you saying what they do is that the sound engineer can say, 'I bury Paul'? I bury Paul." Some of you will get that. Spell the wrong compliments, says Rita. Boy, am I in the middle of that. What happened to Matt doing his Elvis show? Yeah, I've been asking that for weeks now, Jackie. All of a sudden, it's crickets. And I'm not talking about a group that used to back up the late, great Buddy Holly. Don't tell me he faked his death. All of a sudden, was that a bridge too far? I mean, we're dangling and have been dangling on a icy ledge for a long time now, and it seems like we're getting closer to falling off the ledge. And was that a bridge too far? I don't know. I think it's a great idea. It wouldn't be at the church, right? It'd be somewhere else. So Matt, do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Come on and do it. Do it. Patrick Wilburn. See, this is what happens every time. We don't really say too much, and then all of a sudden you're saying goodnight. I hope everything's okay with you, Patrick Wilburn. I don't know what you do each day. But love to know more about you. Donny Osmond sang a great rendition of "I Believe." I've never heard that, Robin Roman. Were you a Donny fanatic? Were you? Did you have purple socks, purple Donny socks? Did you have the Donny Osmond pillow? Did you? Did you? Donny Osmond still looks good. One of the handsomest men that ever walked the planet. I believe, right up there with John Stamos. Some got it and some don't, Some carry it into their old age. That's right. Paul Revere and the Raiders. Mark Lindsay was the lead singer, Jody Smith, for Paul Revere and the Raiders, singing some of the great songs like kicks just keep getting harder to find. Boy, I've lived that song in my life. I've lived that song. Donny Osmond, funny in a Weird Al video? How did I miss that? Which video is that? I don't know. Did he walk off The View? Did he scream at Whoopi Goldberg? Why would he go on The View? Why is anybody going on The View? You know, it's like at this point with the clowns that are hosting Meet the Press, George Stephanopoulos on ABC on Sunday. What's that woman who hosts Face Disgrace the Nation? Her. I can still remember her on election night because I watched those Clinton Jaws videos. Have you watched them? Clinton Jaws playing all the highlights. They start off so excited. Kamala's going to win. Oh, everything points to it. She's got this locked up. Now she's doing a book tour saying the president of the United States is an MFer. Just proof that she is classless, and thank God she did not become the president of the United States. I'd sooner have Neil. Just kidding, Neil. So I never heard him do that. And Lord knows I've heard a lot of people sing I Believe. Including Jay and the Americans and the Letterman and many, many others. Well, good night, Vinny. Thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate your attendance here. Very, very much. I know that you. I'm so curious about what you do in that land of all the lights. I wouldn't have to broadcast it, but I'm curious as to what you do. Maybe there's a job for me down there. At one time, I thought I'd like to work there. I did. I guess I'm past that now, but I would like to come and visit. I haven't been there since 1998. Not since 1998. So there you go. Good night, Vinny. Vinny Maru. Vinny Maru. Let's see here. Back to my live stream. Tammy, Donny Osmond could sing the phone book. Oh, because you think he is so talented. I'm not going to take that. You're making a very true statement. He's Mr. Las Vegas now. There's nobody, Swifty doesn't have a residency yet, right? She's not going to have one. Not until she's like 10 years older, at least. He did like 11 years with Marie, sold out shows, and now he's been doing it by himself with a band and singers and everything for another 10 plus years. So Donny Osmond is, I don't take anything away from him. Jack, you forgot Gary Lewis and the Playboys. I can't keep singing these songs because I know all their hits. This diamond ring used to mean something beautiful. They're coming somewhere around here, not too far. I've seen them in concert at Rye Playland next to the Ferris wheel. Yeah, they were great. They were absolutely great. A little noisy in that area. But, love Gary Lewis. Loved all the hits, especially Count Me In, written by, what's his name there? Glenn Harden. Glenn Harden. Maybe they want a view of the idiots. Oh, I can't watch that show. I got forced to watch it when I was taking care of the 95-year-old gentleman, Mr. K, as I called him. He's gone on to be with Jesus now. But he would, if I didn't do too many day shifts, especially during the week. If I did a day shift, it'd be on the weekend. But once in a while, I did a day shift like a Friday on the weekday. And they would be coming up to 11 o'clock, and he'd say, oh, well, let's see what the ladies on The View have to say. And I would just smile and think, oh, no. Hopefully he'll go to sleep during it and I can change the channel. It happens sometimes, too. It'd be time for his late morning nap. If and on. Puppy love. Yes. Huge hit for Donny Osmond remake, of course, of Mr. Paul Anka, who's what now? 84? 84 years old, Paul Anka now? I believe so. Yeah, 84 years old and still actively performing. Vinny is doing things. On the phone at the moment, have it going with my computer. Terrific. Well, thank you, Vinny, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You have an intriguing life. I don't know too much about it, but you have an intriguing life because that's an intriguing town you live in some of the time. But I love my Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Jody. Don't worry about that. Love Donnie and Marie. Saw them in concert 2 times, and they were terrific both times. I never saw Donnie and Marie per se in concert. I saw the Osmonds with special guest Marie in Rochester, New York. And then what lady was I with when we went to see Donny Osmond at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center by himself, with a band, Donny Osmond. Both shows were fantastic. Kamala with a C, huh? Yucky. I just don't see anything redeeming about her. I don't see anything redeeming about the squad people. I mean, AOC is, she's amusing sometimes. She's certainly attractive, and that works for her. But she's she's not ready to be a U.S. Congresswoman, much less president. And she may be about to run for the presidency. She's going to give it a go. I don't think she's interested in replacing Chuck Schumer. I think she wants the big prize, and she will lose the big prize. We're all pretty sure about that. J.D. Vance in 2028. Matt Monroe Music. It's a name I've always heard, probably seen the name in music commercials, but never really have did Matt Monroe do some acting too? Was he a cowboy? Let me see. Let me go to back to the email and thank you, Todd Bradshaw, the Tennessee Titan. Thank you so much. $25 on the Cash App for Doc Hollywood. A Doc Hollywood T-shirt. Do they come in 3X? It's got to be 3X. Yeah. I was at the Big W today because I had to get some new black pants and a nice couple of long T-shirts, black. Love the color black. Thank you, Elaine Peterson, for the Cash App. If you have Cash App and you'd like to hit it, it's lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, lowercase MEDIAGUY, and you know how to spell it. Media Guy, the number's 56, Media Guy 56 for any amount. And hello, replay crowd, same applies to you. I'll be sure to thank you on the next show. I'll be sure to thank you on the next show. So thank you, Elaine, and thank you for Todd for hitting the Cash App. Now, let's see here. So yes, we will have a thumbnail of the great picture of Pastor Bob Joyce now on TikTok, at least the music so far, but they're making it sound like it will be more than that. I didn't get to see Tucker Carlson live tonight on TCN. Anybody see that? Neo sent me a picture.
I know some of you don't like this AI thing, but if y'all can't relax and have fun with it, man, you're missing the show. Just another tool. A guitar's a tool, too, Depends whose hands it's in. You think it'll change music? Sure it will, but so did electricity, baby. What in the name of AI is this, Captain?
Then he goes on. He's got William Shatner saying, "What in the name of AI is this?" I have to roll in the video to make it have impact, And he'll be up here soon, and maybe then we'll do it. Jack, you did not wear a 3X. Jack, you do not wear a 3X. You are so funny. I do wear 3X. I do. All my shirts are 3X, including the one I'm wearing now with my Barnabas button, Barnabas Collins. Don't miss that. But it's because I like a shirt with room, you know. Sometimes I can wear 2X, sure. I've lost a few pounds, absolutely. But I do wear 3X. And that's why when the YouTube shirts come out, which are all in the closet right now, I rush there before because there's a lot of there's a lot of guys with bellies that like those Hawaiian type shirts. I got to get there early. You know, I got to get there early. I always hated it when I would go to the doctors, which I don't do now. You're reminding me of something unpleasant coming up in my life. They would always have The View playing on those little TVs. Ugh, I can understand what you mean. You'd be a forced audience for that. Yeah, they don't put on Fox News, you know, they don't. They don't usually even put on CNN anymore because they don't want people, you know, complaining about I don't come here to this laundromat to see politics. I don't want to be forced to see politics at this laundromat or this pizza place. Brother Bruno's puts Fox News on sometimes. Matt Monroe was on the he was of the Sinatra genre. Great music. Huh. I'll have to give him a spin. I'll have to give him a spin. Jack, Donny Osmond's grandson looks just like him when he was a kid. Which one of his 30 grandchildren? Which one? I mean, they got more. Oh my God, there's so many Osmonds running around. It's crazy. Been listening to a young man named Dylan. Look, Dylan Locke. Okay. Beautiful voice and beautiful blue eyes and black hair. I think you think he's a bit of a stud muffin, Jane. I'm getting that vibe. Yeah. Oh, here's Jay Pogera. Hi, Jack. Hi, Jay. What are you doing today? What are you doing? And where are you from again? I'm sorry for forgetting. Huh. Let's see. Dylan Locke. I got too many tabs here. Let me close a few tabs. He spells it like Bob Dylan spells it. It's really Bob Zimmerman, of course. Bob Zimmerman. Well, he's a handsome young man, isn't he? Yes, he is. He reminds me of somebody, though. That's the funny thing. He reminds me of somebody, and I'll never get it. Dylan Locke is a self-taught singer, songwriter, pianist, and guitarist from Victoria Harbour, Ontario. Oh, a Canadian, drawn to the piano from age 5. He won an elementary school music award and joined a high school rock band after winning a national songwriting competition in high school. He used the prize money to buy a keyboard. And there he is on the keyboard right there. So let's see. Here's a song on Facebook from Dylan Locke, These Arms of Mine. He sings Unchained Melody and Stand By Me by, what's his name? Mickey Gilley? Mickey Gilley? I'm not sure of that anymore. That's not right. He's got a song. Oh, he's been around for a while. 2012 album. This Girl and Don't Stumble, same album. Shanty Love. Was that an Indian song? 2012. And Killa and Sin. That sounds like an interesting album. Killer and Sin. So what? He doesn't record it anymore? I mean, I'm looking at 2012 stuff here. Interesting. Huh. Very nice. And here we are back at you. Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar, looks like Michael. Okay. Faith Lloyd has joined us. I think she's been here for a while, hasn't she? As has Stephen Smelich. Stephen Smelich is your new name. You didn't know that, did you? Stephen Spielich. Howdy, Jack. I hope you and your lady are doing well. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. This weekend, we will do the ritual of walking up and down the main thoroughfare of Sugarloaf, New York, where they'll be having their fall festival. And we've just got to do it, you know. There'll be a lot of people there probably because I think the weather's going to be okay. And then Sunday, it's Oktoberfest, October with a K, German style, with 18-time Grammy winner Jimmy Sturr in the orchestra. And a German 10-piece German band and German food and lovely desserts and what have you at the Polish Club in Pine Island, New York at 1 p.m. $22 to get in the door per person. I love Michael Bublé. I know he's got his audience. Michael Bublé. Did he ever have a hit record? Some people don't need it. Some people have had brilliant careers with no hit at all. Michael Jackson's nephew looks like Michael. I didn't know that was you that said that, Neil. Jack, you're right. Stand By Me is sung, or sunk in this case, by Mickey Gilley. Why doesn't that feel right, though, anymore? John Lennon did a good version of that song. Wasn't a hit, but he did a good version of it. I guess it was a minor hit for him. Maybe even more than a minor hit. Let's see. Oh, yes, of course. Benny King. Is that the same song? I think so, yes. Mickey Gilley. Benny King. It was a movie, right? Yeah, I remember this. So maybe Mickey made it a hit on the country chart. Oh, is this the one with River Phoenix in it? Stand By Me? I believe it is. He left us so early. Died on a sidewalk, I think. A drug overdose. Stand By Me cast. River Phoenix, the star. What a good-looking chap he was. Corey Feldman. Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss. John Cusack. And Susan Thorpe. Will Wheaton as well. Jerry O'Connell. Stephen Spielich saying hello to Elaine Peterson. So very creative work there, Neo. Very creative work. So we told you about the menu. You can see that in the front of the video for Coleman, Alabama. We told you about Pastor Bob Joyce music being put on Spotify now, maybe teaching to follow if it's not up already. Did I say Spotify? I meant to say TikTok. Teresa told us about visiting. We told that story. We read that story. Visiting Pastor Bob at Household of Faith. Nancy let us know about Pastor Bob on TikTok. As did Jackie, the official Pastor Bob on TikTok. Katie was the one who posted on the Pastor Bob Joyce official group on TikTok. So there you go. Seems like they want more exposure. They're not worried about it. As Pastor Bob said not that long ago, whatever God has in store, this is a paraphrase, wherever God leads, wherever God leads. I have all the Michael Bublé CDs and have truly enjoyed his concert. Amazing. Okay. What movie was he in? Michael Bublé. Was he in an Austin Powers film? I'm trying to remember. Yes, Ben E. King played that on the radio many times. But I'm sure Mickey did it too. So many people did, including John Lennon. John Lennon did a great version of Stand By Me in the later years for him. It was a single, and I'm pretty sure it was a hit. So there you go. Well, thank you, Neo. That's right. On Cash App, it's Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56. Thank you. Or you can just hit the thanks button here for any amount with your credit card, any amount on the thanks button, whether it's live or in the replay. It doesn't happen much in the replay, to be honest. It doesn't. But in my live audience, you have my back so often, and I'm so thankful for that. Jack, you do not wear a wig. Oh, no. I thought you said, yeah, I wear a wig. 3X, yeah, they're a little baggy, but I do wear them. And, because some 2Xs are tight. It's because my abs, all this time I spend at Crunch Fitness, Fitness. Thank you, Chi-Chi, for saying that. I see that. He won't come out of the concert. That won't happen. But it's another step in a possible future direction of breaking news, The church would be rendered useless if he did that. They would be besieged. It would be chaos. It would be, older people, of course. As again, the XYZ, they're not going to care that much unless they were raised on Elvis. Look at Greg Pritchard's son, Aiden, big Elvis Presley fan. He heard it in the house, He was taught how great from his father, who's a musician, conductor, etc. He was taught how great Elvis Presley is. Vinny, you're back. Jack, how are you with reading poetry? I think I could give it a go if I believe it with all my heart. Hopefully non-copyrighted poetry. Can you do it? I think so. You're talking to a 1974 graduate, Vincent, of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and they have successfully placed disc jockeys in radio stations. I blew the joke. Let's do a take two on that, Vinny. You're viewing and listening to a 1974 graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, albeit not the main campus. I was in Hartford, beautiful Hartford, and they have successfully placed disc jockeys in Texaco stations all over the country. I just wanted you to know that. Don Imus, I'm not going to steal his line and not give him credit, even though he's not with us anymore. The late, great Don Imus. You can do it. Well, all you have to do then is send me a file on the email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Now, if you don't want us to show you doing it, If you want to remain incognito, then we'll just play the audio like I'm playing a soundbite. We can do that. We can do that. I write a bunch. Well, I didn't know that. See? Do you write about love? Do you write about? Do you write about the absurdity of life? Do you write about faith? Do you write about three men in the strangest place? Do you say it's about time? It's about space? It's about three men in the strangest place? You got to be of a certain age to know what the heck I'm talking about. That was on the air the same time as My Favorite Martian with Ray Walston and a good friend of Elvis Presley, Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby. Yes, absolutely. I think if Bob Joyce comes out, it sounds funny. I sent it to you. It's in your email. Okay. I write a bunch. All my poetry is imaginable. Is original. It's imaginable. I guess it is imaginable. It's from your head, right? All right. Oh, here's Fuzz Octavius. Hi, Fuzz Octavius. That's a great name. You sound like you're a club wedding disc jockey. Of course, I'm thinking about Octavius, who was a legendary wedding DJ here in the Hudson Valley, passed away not too long ago. Okay, it seems like, let me see here. Poem for my wife, Burning Candle. All right. Talk amongst yourselves for a sec, everybody. Wish I could back it up with music. I could do it in a pre-recorded video. I could use something they would allow. The word is colloquial, right? Colloquial? Am I getting that wrong? This is why I could never be a newscaster. I'd run into that word. Do. Talk amongst yourselves. I know you will anyway. Luscious. Wow, this is long, Vinny, but very good. All right, Vinny, sound out the C word for me. I want to hear Jack read poetry. I hate to blow that word if I'm saying it wrong. The C word in the beginning of the poem. I don't see you giving it to me, so I'm going to have to hope. I see a lion. Not sure that word. All right, we will give it a shot. It's called Burning Candle by Vinnie Maru. Burning Candle by Vinnie Maru. There's a beauty in life and in many forms. It touches your soul and your mind, it transforms. With words that sometimes come from a colloquial pen, the majestic beauty of a Scottish glen, secret serenity, that hidden treasure, splendid to the eyes of visual pleasure. Crystal clear streams found in the valley below, cool and refreshing, with a soft, gentle flow. Luscious greens cover the mountains to the ground. Songbirds are singing. It's a beautiful sound. The morning sunrise is a sight to behold. Wildlife looks forward for the day to unfold. The art of her sunset slipping into dark has colors allowing my mind to embark. It goes on a journey and travels afar as fading light produces beautiful stars. Stars twinkle and shine to adorn the night sky. Heavenly art that can be seen by the eye. Celestial drawings will cause some impressions. Inside of my heart was left some expressions. Some people sparkle with a light of their own. They have their own flicker, is what I was shown. They are a candle that you love and adore, unlike anyone else you have known before. A candle will glow when the lights have gone out, just like the stars when they are out and about. The sweetest aroma always fills the air. It's a delightful fragrance it will always share. You dance in the dark with your lovely flame. You are my candle. You and my candle are both one and the same. I feel your aura of illumination. You stretch my mind's eye and imagination. I always think of art when I think of you. Renaissance masters created as you do. Their classical art we can always embrace, for you know it is art that can't be replaced. Botticelli's work reaches deep in the heart. Primavera is a masterpiece of art. Venus wore shoes that would be worthy to wear. If she had known you, she would give you her pair. The gaze of Mona Lisa is always there, and with her eyes, she follows you everywhere. She also has the most mysterious smile. Da Vinci, the father of Renaissance style. Michelangelo's art I love to describe. Inside of your heart, it is always inscribed. The Sistine Chapel is a sight to behold. He painted on his back using a scaffold. He also carved into the angel was free. A sculptor he was of the highest degree. The color and harmony of Raphael, you wear and move and reflect it so well. Sometimes you wear black or may go with a blue. You have many colors and not just a few. You're lovely in pink or in turquoise mint. You look phenomenal in a leopard print, a scarlet red, or perhaps emerald green, bright yellow, and lilac. Them all I have seen. An earthly angel is an elegant sight. You are the most angelic when you wear white. You do spread your wings and fly into the sky. You glide into the heavens and watch from up high. Up above the clouds is the best place to be, always from the storms, and you are truly free. I know you are dancing to an angel's dream. With such divine music, it does reign supreme. Sometimes heartfelt beauty is heard and not seen, magical moments that are far from routine. The sound of a piano so soft and pure, harmonious, beautiful, beauty written in the score. It can shape the feelings inside of your heart, leading you to never want to grow apart and away from someone that you love, someone who must have only come from above. You are the candle with a flickering flame. You shine like the stars with your beauty the same. There was always more to you than looks alone. I know you're the angel that came from the stone. You've been through the heavens and looked down below. Your eternal radiance is as white as snow. Embers in my heart have a spark of their own. You started a fire in me, time has shown. Your love and beauty did make my heart unite. With your rhythm and grace, a beautiful sight. Eternal love glowing with the brightest light, forever in heaven and always in flight. By Vinnie Moreau. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Vinnie. Absolutely beautiful. Great poem, says Elaine, and great reading by Jack. Not perfect, I wanted it to be, but if it were a pre-recorded video, it would have been. That is what happens when we don't monitor Jack's drinking. You're probably referring to something else. Thank God I never did get into that habit, because with my addictive personality, Todd, it would have been bad. It would have been bad. I would have been worse than Otis Campbell. And he was just faking the whole thing, I guess. So there you go. Um, thank you, Vinny Maru. Thank you very, very much. A lot of talent there. Doc Hollywood line, nobody dared laugh during the reading. That was for my wife who passed, yes. Thank you, Vinny. Beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all. Thank you, Vinny, for coming on tonight in the city of a million lights. A million lights. My son was just there, by the way, the weekend. He left on Saturday afternoon. Not only did he see Paul McCartney, he left on Monday afternoon, just yesterday. Not only did he see Paul McCartney Saturday night at the stadium, wherever that is, he saw Jeff Dunham as well. He saw Jeff Dunham. And good night, everyone. Need to get some sleep. I understand, Jane Justice. But first, a shower. Blessings to you all, my friends. Be well and happy, and prayers for your healing. You real good, Jack. Well, that was just the first take, you know. Thank you, Chi-Chi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there, look, that is the fastest 2 hours in radio. The fastest 2 hours in radio. It really, really is. And the very fact that I just said the fastest 2 hours in radio shows I cannot break old habits. How many times did I hear a radio show called the fastest 2 hours in radio, you know? A million times. A million times. But I'm not on the radio anymore. But people can use me like a radio, take me on a trip. Sometimes people tell me they were driving, listening, and that's a real kick for me, you know? It's a real kick. Got the NIV in front of me. Yeah. I know I've read Isaiah 53 before, but felt led to do it again because it's an introduction, and well, it's not the first introduction really, but it's a clear prelude to the birth of Christ. Isaiah 53, the prophet Isaiah. Thank you, Vinny, for hitting the Cash App. I appreciate that very much. You didn't have to do that. It would have been a freebie. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, the Tennessee Titan, Todd Bradshaw. Thank you, Elaine Peterson. Who has believed our message? Verse 1, Isaiah 53 NIV. And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Nothing in his appearance that we would desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering, like one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows. Yet we considered him stricken by God, smitten by him, and afflicted. but he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. Part of Isaiah 53 in the NIV. And there you go. It was so good to be back in church this past weekend. I will do it again. Back to the live stream. Jesus, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Teresa Lee Leonard. Much love and prayers. Don't forget to keep Brenda Sweeney in prayer and Brenda Noyce in prayer. And Christari, I hope she's doing well. And Adam Davidson, keep him in prayer. And all the other needs that you've heard here. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate that. But it could have been better. Thank you, Todd, coming by. Rita, lovely Rita Maid. Chi-Chi, and Robin Roman, and Jane Justice, who's in the shower right now. Fuzz Octavius. And I said Elaine, right? Yeah. And Miles Wright, Steven Spielich, Neocon, and Jay Pugera. Didn't get to really say much to you. Send me an email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com, and let me know what's going on. Please, all of you going to Coleman, Alabama, please document that. Send me an email at jackthefairguy@gmail.com that I can share. If you can get some pictures, get some video. Some of you will be doing the meet and greet. If you can get me a picture from the meet and greet, that would be wonderful. The competition is actively soliciting this. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I have a feeling there'll be more of these, and I will make it to one. I definitely will. Hopefully, I'll be actually let in the door. Tammy Griffin, Tammy with an I, loves that Donny Osmond just as much as I loved Christy McNichol. And Jodie Foster. My first TV crush, Marlo Thomas. She's still going strong. Still running St. Jude's. And everybody else that checked in earlier, Jackie Oregon. Oh, Helen McDonald. Yes. Carolyn Mullins. We can't forget her. Can't forget Carolyn Mullins. Thank you for watching Worldwide Ramblings for a Wednesday night. Perhaps we'll be back before Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time. I have a feeling we will be. So make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. If you can, hit the thanks button. Appreciate that so much. Talk to you soon. Have a terrific Thursday. Big God bless you. Bye-bye.